What's legal, but if you do it you still look like a psychopath. Entering an elevator full of people and not turning to face the door. This happened to me a lot in Ecuador. It's considered an insult to face your back to someone. So everyone shuffles around to not do it to anyone on purpose. Unless they are mad at someone. Then you gotta talk to the back. I mean literally. I've seen some walk up to talk to another person and they just turned around. Wearing a wedding gown to someone else's wedding. Deleted. One of the politicians in our country bit into a hot dog sideways and in the middle. Like a sandwich. It was so weird that it was in the newspapers the next day. Slow news day OBV. But made him look like a nut job. I was serving a very green Chinese businessman at the pub and he ordered a burger, and after a few seconds of sizing it up, stabbed it in the center with his fork and started eating it like a candy apple. I asked him if he was good, and he shrugged and said, "Sorry, I haven't figured out how to eat these yet." When you just happen to be going to the same place as the car pedestrian in front of you. It's even creepier when it's a long distance and they look behind them and see you. Walking around in public with a glass of water from home. People, hey, what's with the water? Boardlem 0N, I brought it from home. So legally it's mine and you can't have any. Using both hands to put on chapstick. Stop responding midway through an oral convo. But maintain eye contact. Sorry, I was lagging. When someone is holding a door open for you when a place has double doors and you just say fuck it and take the other door instead. And make sure you say yikes while passing the other person. Eating unwrapped food from inside your pockets. My boss used to apply his lip balm while making firm eye contact with me at the end of the day. Used to creep me out. And I'm still unsure why he did it like that. Wait, isn't the real question why did you make eye contact with him every day at this time? Dressing like a penguin and walking on 4 legs. Wonderful. The mind of a child is. Standing silently at night along a forest road. I did that once in the moonlight while taking out trash. I turned off my light and just enjoyed the serene night. Then I hear rustling in the bush and my LED light just fucking died. It hasn't worked since. But yeah, nice night. Working out in a suit. I had a classmate who did phys ed. Also, in a suit. He only had suits. About 20 times the very same outfit. Including shoes and ties. Writing an S from the bottom up. I've seen some pretty fucked up stuff in this thread. But this one genuinely made me stop. Flying a kite at night. Digging holes in your backyard at night. Just doing some night digging. Instead of holding the door open, especially at a restaurant with dual double doors, you close them right after you exit the building. The place where I work had an incident recently where someone came into the building, found an unlocked office, and stole some stuff. So they sent out an email saying don't let people follow you in. Pretty standard advice everyone ignores. This isn't a secure complex of any kind. You need to swipe a card to open the outer doors. But there's no security. I was coming back from lunch. A lady in front of me swiped in, opened the door, and then firmly closed it behind her. While shopping. Pulling what you want out of other people's carts before they buy them. Done this by accident because I mistook it for a cart an employee was using to put stuff on the shelf. I saw a whole cart of socks and needed them, but they didn't have the type I needed on the shelf. Because an old man was buying them all. Wearing a wedding gown everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I had a classmate who would wear hers to really hard exams. She said she loved the way she looked in it and it made her feel great about herself. So she'd wear it as a motivational boost. It was a little weird but really fun. Pulling your pants underwear all the way down to pee at a men's urinal. I knew a kid in elementary school who did this. Normally he would use the stalls, but one time he did it at the urinal and yelled oops I'm not in the stall, then turned and made and held eye contact when I looked cause he yelled. Standing next to someone at a urinal even when there is an open one at the opposite end of the row. Oh wow. You only use one hand to hold it. I use both. Wild well. See you tomorrow. Eating a banana with the skin on. Casually eating a stick of butter during a business meeting. Eating a stick of butter anywhere looks like a psychopath to me. Offering candies to kids with a van with homemade logos. Eating in public without using your hands at all. Like, just face first. Eating people meat. It's not illegal in 49 states, but you can't kill a person or desecrate a corpse. but you can buy human parts under research, and as long as you're not buying organs for transplant. Highly illegal. You can serve it to others and even do it in front of the cops. Not that I would recommend that, but legally you can. It's apparently tasty, as one guy apparently turned his cut off foot into tacos. Upon further review of the rules and terms, this one wins. Putting your shoes on before the pants. Edit. Unless you're in the military. Apparently. Skinny jeans wearers in shambles. Having carpet in your kitchen or bathroom. Deleted. Does this also apply to books? Trimming your lawn with scissors. Like. Calm down, Bob. I haven't even mown mine in 3 months. We have a neighbor that I'm just waiting to see do this one day. He is obsessive about his yard. Just a matter of time. Walking backwards in public. So I saw this couple walking backwards down the middle of my street and thought, how weird. Looked out the window 1 minute later and there they were again walking backwards in the same spot. Went to the kitchen window and again walking backwards. But I had never seen them walk forwards to get back to that position. At this point I think I'm stuck in a time loop. I show my roommate to prove I'm not crazy, and this time we see them walk forwards back to the top of the street. So we watch them for several cycles just walking forwards, then backwards, up and down the street, just holding casual conversation. Figure it must be a workout routine or something, but WTF. Going out to the gym or something and using a Hershey's syrup bottle as a water bottle. Edit. Thanks for the rewards, guys. Holy cow, did not expect to get this many responses. Interesting to see all the weird things people use as water bottles. A friend did that with a bright yellow mustard bottle while running a 10k for charity. People were so concerned they asked a cop to talk to him. Wearing the skin of a roast chicken like a mask. Screaming in public at nothing except the existential dread you're feeling. So like, yeah, maybe pre-2020. Post-2020 I see someone screaming in public, I calmly walk over to them and scream too. Farting and deeply inhaling it. In public. Deeply inhaling other people's farts in public. Brushing your teeth in public. Edit. Some people think I meant brushing your teeth in a public bathroom after a meal makes you a psychopath. I used to have braces, so I understand a quick rinse and brush after eating. I mostly meant like brushing your teeth in a movie theater while the credits are rolling or something. My husband had a weird eccentric uncle that we didn't know well. And he was some hotshot rich dentist. We were following behind him on the way to a family wedding reception from the church and saw him doing something weird in his rearview mirror. Then watched him open his car door and spit out a bunch of toothpaste. His kids say he just randomly starts brushing his teeth anywhere. Like the mall or a pool. And spits into trash cans. Couple years later he was arrested for possession of cocaine, domestic abuse, and major fraud and tax evasion. He regularly offered the kids drugs and they sometimes did them as a family. His daughter got out and went NC. Son is still buddy with dad. So yeah, anecdotally, psychos brush their teeth in public. Licking doorknobs. Only illegal on other planets. Taking the escalator facing the opposite way. Used to run up the down escalators all the time or just walk on the end like a treadmill when no one was around as a kid and thought I was a total badass. Putting vinegar on mac and cheese. I found out that it curdles the cheese. Did it once. Never again. I need to know why you even thought this was a good idea. Blasting Highway to Hell during a funeral. My dad had this as a ringtone since it's one of his favorite songs. He works for a small family business. So him and the other employees were invited to the boss's mother's funeral. Accidentally forgot to set his phone on silent and he got a call. So this song starts blasting during the service. Thankfully everyone thought it was funny. In Florida, of course, it's completely legal to walk around carrying an AK-47 as long as you're also carrying a fishing pole. As someone from Australia, fucking what, mate? Sending orange juice and coffee to random people in a restaurant at dinner. And when they look over at you, give them a little salute and a knowing smile. Doing yard work at night. My riding mower has headlights on it and honestly it creeps me out to think of someone mowing at night. A friend of mine eats the crust of the pizza first. Like he eats the complete pizza crust of the whole pizza and then the rest. Crazy bastard. A manager I once had been reading a how to manage people book. Which ended up with him telling me I was doing a good job. Shaking my hand normally. Then just standing still for 30 seconds. still holding my hand, in complete silence, staring directly into my eyes. Was supposed to be a reassuring show of dominance or some such shit, but it was just weird and creepy. Bite the Kit Kat without breaking it in half. Edit. To clarify, I do this and I get weird looks. Also, that's a lot of upvotes. Breaking the Kit Kat perpendicular to the grooves. Carrying around a blow-up doll that you claim to be married to. Vacuuming your yard. Great chemical-free way to keep dandelions from spreading. Wait, is this an actual thing people do? Tinfoil hats. I lived in China for several years. The men clear their throats really loudly and spit. Like, all the time. Everywhere. Even in decent sit-down restaurants the men will spit on the floor. It's so normal. Wait staff are in the habit of putting newspapers down on the floor for groups of men who are there to eat, drink, and socialize. I can put up with a lot. But, that's one thing that got me every time. That is fucking vile. Sitting on a park bench, opening a jar of mayonnaise, and furiously eating the contents with just your bare hands. Going to Starbucks and ordering a milk with ice. Asking for water at a restaurant in a bowl on the floor, then lapping that shit up. I'd like a single plum. Floating in perfume. Served in a man's hat. Using your knife and fork to slice each French fry into small dainty pieces. Not leaving a one booth space in a public urinal. Cover your roof in raw meat every morning. Then bag it up, throw it away after dark. The only reason there isn't a law against that is because the lawmakers lack imagination. Can I just say this post has come up with some really creative and funny answers and you're all sick fucks, but I love it, LMAO. This isn't really an answer, but anyway. A few years ago my next door neighbor was very fond of an after work, late afternoon gin and tonic. One afternoon he poured himself a good slug of gin, and realized he had no tonic. So the neighborhood was treated to the sight of him, clutching his glass of gin, going from door to door asking for tonic water. I wouldn't want to live in the kind of neighborhood where I would be looked down upon for borrowing a splash of tonic from a neighbor. My dog attacked a bird, and I fell to my knees, Braveheart style, screaming no, looked up, and my neighbor was standing outside drinking his coffee watching the whole thing. I said he ate a bird, neighbor said nothing, sipped his coffee and eventually walked back in his house. I was unraveled by the whole situation. But when I went inside, the first thing I said was the neighbor is a fucking psychopath. But for the record, I also brought a cup of ice water and just a regular cup from home to work the other day. Oh my god. I've also kept chicken in my pockets and person called it pocket chicken. I'm learning some things about myself from this sub. It's you. You're the psycho. Asking an old person to give up their seat on a bus. Wearing your underwear over your pants. Not making any attempts to dry your hands after washing them. Framing photos of yourself. Honestly, after years after hating myself, I think I deserve a little vanity. I let my husband pick which family photos he wanted to have printed and framed. I was expecting my dad who passed, our son, a family picture or two. Nope. It's all me. That man had 25 pictures of me blown up and professionally framed and hung them up all over our house. And he will not let me take them down because he says they are all so beautiful. It's deeply embarrassing. I've got a new sub-idea, are illegal. Laughing. You can laugh wherever you like, and not much can be done about it, except in Gotham. Being a Scientologist. P.S. I am not a Scientologist. Unbuckling your belt in public. Bringing food to a restaurant. Very silly situation back in high school where we agreed to meet at a public space. So I cooked a bunch of frozen spring rolls for our picnic. Then plans changed, and I was snacking on spring rolls out of a Ziploc bag in a burrito place. Edit. Maybe actually illegal. Edit raised to the power of 2. Maybe not. https://reddit.com oligaladvis comments/39u7w5/ is it really illegal for a guest to bring outside? Not illegal, but the restaurant can and most likely will kick you out. Mowing your yard at night. I mean, he had his headlights on. That's what they're for, right? It's been 20 years and the neighbors still talk about it. Eating ketchup with a spoon. Staring at people in public. It's not illegal, but you could still find yourself to be in trouble. Drinking blue Kool-Aid out of a thoroughly cleaned out Windex bottle in public. I don't know, it seems to keep me from streaking. So I think the public is appreciative. Wear Halloween costumes as your everyday wear. It's not that weird, right? Sometimes I do this when I get bored or I'm out of clean clothes and need to do laundry. There's nothing quite like not giving a fuck and going grocery shopping in a giant hot dog costume because you're too lazy to do a load of laundry. Calling yourself Lord Pacifica on Reddit. Eating condiments as a meal by themselves. 1 cup of your finest ranch, please. Going through checkout at the grocery store with an hour's worth of coupons for your cashier to process. Maybe not a psychopath, but picking your nose will never not give you disgusted looks. Running in non-workout clothing. Lay off 30% of the workforce but then give yourself a multimillion bonus.